as we thought about what makes The Simpsons, we all agreed that it was the actors that brought all these characters to life, right? And how lucky are we to have Hank Azaria joining us now? According to IMDb, look at this. Hank is the man behind over 1,600 characters in The Simpsons universe, appearing in 765 episodes of the show. That might make you tired, Hank, even looking at all of that, but we're so glad to have you here on the show. Thanks so much for joining us. What are you most excited about seeing tonight?
Well, I'm a huge NFL fan, so I'm psyched to be part of it in any way. And I worked with Joe Buck on my show, Brackmeyer, about a baseball announcer who hit some difficult times. Joe was an old friend of mine. And sometimes I text Joe and just harass him in the middle of the game. And now I'll be really coming at him in animated form tonight. I'm very excited about it.
Hank, Dan Orlovsky here. So grateful for you to join us. With tonight, Bart and Homer, who would you expect to be a better football coach out of the two?
Well, you got to go Bart. Homer, forget about X's and O's. He can't hold anything in his brain. And Bart's maybe not the brightest bulb in the box either, but he's tremendously sneaky. So I'd much rather have Bart on my side than Homer.
Hank, you grew up in Queens. You're a lifelong Jets fan. What have you made of their season?
Oh, for Jet fans, this is a great season for Jet fans. Look, let me go positive here, okay?
I like it.
Yeah, it's not easy. I had to give this some thought. Every year, the Jets figure out a new way to break our hearts. It's never the same thing twice. You never know what you're going to get. Life is truly like a box of awful chocolates season after season for Jets. So, yeah, this one maybe was even more disappointing than some others. But that's the life of it. Jets, Mets, Knicks. That's me. Grew up in Queens. People ask me, why do you... Here's the best way I can sum it up. My son's 15, okay? And I'm watching the Jets. I usually watch from the elliptical or the treadmill because I need to be in motion to sort of, work out what I'm going through. And I often scream expletives at the television. And my son came in and very earnestly said, Dad, I understand you watching the Jets, but why do you have hope? Absolutely crushing statement.
Well said.
I'm almost afraid to hear what the answer to this one is, but if Aaron Rodgers was a Simpsons character...
Oh, geez.
Which one do you think he has the most in common with?
That's not an easy one.
Oh, he's a complicated man.
I got to be honest. I gave this some thought. I saw this question earlier on. I really gave this some thought.
And I'm going to go with one of my characters, Professor Frank.
Oh, wow.
Right? Yes, because, my dear children, he often may very well be the smartest person in the room, but the way he expresses himself often makes him sound like a goofball, Gerheim and Levy. So that's what I'm going with there.
Oh, I love it. Okay, Hank, you mentioned you are also a Mets fan. They made a huge move today, agreeing to the $765 million deal. I'm sure you're excited, okay, with Juan Soto. But we need to put you to work. Sad Yankees fan make their way to Moe's tonight. What's the bartender saying to console them about this?
Yeah, well, look here, there, Missy. If I may call you that, that's as polite as Mo gets. Mo's from Queens, okay? So you're a Yankee fan walking into Mo's Tavern there. Yankee fans with their fancy imported beer and their bar stools with backs on them and their shelled peanuts, you know what I mean? Mo don't got no time for that. And Mo would say, now you know what it's like, huh? To be the little brother that nobody cares about, And let me tell what you Yankee fans can do with all your condescending big brother stuff like, oh, I like the Mets. Oh, we root for the Mets. We like the Mets. Yeah, well, how you like us now? We took Soto from you.
The way the character is like...
Mo ain't big on consolation.
Now we know he had all those voices.
So you mentioned Brackmeyer, which we watched that in like 3 days during the pandemic, the entirety of it. It's so funny. You guys, if you've never seen it, please go check it out, whatever service it's on. And you play a Major League broadcaster who is, shall we say, troubled and goes through it. However, he is an unbelievable broadcaster. Some of the lines, he's just such a joy to listen to. So I was wondering if you could give us some advice as broadcasters calling this game, maybe in the spirit of Brockmeyer. Neither of us, he's taking notes. Neither of us are as witty as Brockmeyer, but perhaps we can try.
Well, nobody is really. You know, Brockmeyer has a team of writers. That's what makes him so good. But y'all are such wonderful professionals. This is my Jim Brockmeyer voice, by the way. This is the Bob Costas called this the generic baseball announcer voice of the 1970s, and he was dead on with that characterization. You guys are so wonderful. I don't have much advice. I would just say, Jim Brockmeyer would say, do not do what I did. Don't get blackout drunk on the air and go into explicit, graphic, intimate detail of the extracurricular physical relationships that your wife engages in. As long as you don't do that, you should be absolutely fine.
Good advice. Good advice.
All right.
No promises.
Good advice.
I was going to say, Dan was planning on doing that, so I'm glad we cleared this up before we got to it. All right, amazing to have you. Hank Azaria
awesome.
joining us here. We cannot wait to put the Simpsons here on real life, playing all kinds of football tonight. It's on Disney+, it's on ESPN+, and these two are part of it, and of course, Hank, a huge part of it. So we appreciate you for taking the time with us today.
Thanks for having me. Go Mets.
Love
Thank
it.
you.